Welcome back, my dear students, to the session number 11 relating to the subject Business Regulations of third semester BBA. I am Dr. Sajjad Pasha, Government First Grade College, Devanahalli. The topic for this session number 11 is legal capacity to contract. Legal capacity of the parties who are entering into an agreement, into a contract. So now let us have a discussion who are all competent enough to enter into legal contracts and who are not eligible for the contracts. Let us start. Legal capacity to contract. This is one of the most important essentials of a valid contract, like offer, acceptance, consideration. The capacity of the contracting parties is also very important to be understood. So legal capacity means the status or attributes necessary for a person to have his or her acts legally allowed and recognized. Means a person must have some status, must have some qualities, so that whatever the contracts, whatever the agreements he has entered into with other persons can be recognized, can be considered in the eyes of law, in the court of law. That is the legal capacity. Section 11 of the Act has defined competency as every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject, and who is of sound mind and is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. So this definition has clearly defined, clearly states who are eligible to enter into valid contracts. A person who is a major one as his age, who is of the age of majority, and a person of sound mind, and a person who has not disqualified from entering into any contract by any other law, any law. So these are the three important aspects of this definition. So this definition has clearly stated who can enter into contracts, who cannot enter. Based on these 3 points, we can guess who are not eligible, who are not eligible for a valid contract. So while entering into contract, the other person must be very careful. These three aspects are necessary to be considered. A person must have must be a major one in his age. A person must be of a sound mind, capable of making decisions on his own, capable of deciding, capable of thinking on his own, and a person who is who has not disqualified by any court under any law from entering into any type of legal contracts. So these are the three important aspects of this definition. Then, on the basis of the above definition, we can understand clearly that who are incompetent to enter into contract, who are not eligible to enter into the agreements. Minors. First one, minors. Minors means the persons who have not attained the age of 18 years. 18 years. So, male or female must have attained the age of 18 years to call them as the majors. So if a person, male or female, if a person below the age of 18 years, they are minors and they are not competent legally, they are not competent to enter into any contract directly with the other persons. So the law says law says any agreement entered into by a minor is absolutely void, is absolutely void. But considering the present situation, considering the today's developments, we can see uh, many minors, many minors. They are excelling. They are performing in various fields, maybe in the sports or entertainment industry, or in the business, or in the educational sectors. So minors are also doing well, but guardians can represent the minors. Guardians can represent their minors. So the court says if if the guardians are entering into agreements, if the guardians are entering into a contract for and on behalf of the minors, then such contracts and agreements are enforceable by law. But minors cannot directly enter into contracts. Guardians, on behalf of the minors, they can enter into contract, and such contracts are enforceable. But the contracts which have been directly entered into by the minor with the minors is unenforceable, not a valid contract. So they are absolutely void. Then the second type of person who is incompetent, persons of unsound mind. Persons of unsound mind. Unsound mind means the person who has lost his mental balance, the person who has lost his decision making ability, the person who has lost his thinking capacity. He cannot act on his own. He cannot decide. He cannot think on his own. So the persons of unsound mind, the person mentally retarded persons are not legally competent for any contract. So the persons of unsound mind, insane persons are also not eligible for the contracts. Then the third type of persons who are incompetent are persons disqualified by law to which they are subject. If any court has disqualified any person uh, for the proceedings for which they are subject to, then such disqualified persons are also incompetent for any type of agreement or any type of contract. But but if if a person who is lawfully at large under a license called ticket of leave, ticket of leave, then it is considerable. He can enter into or he can sue on a contract, and the disqualification of a person by any law will stop, will cease when once the disqualification comes to an end. The disqualification period comes to an end when the term of imprisonment expires, when the convict is acquitted from the case from the court, from the proceedings for which he is subject to. So, like examples we have here for the persons disqualified by law: alien enemy, alien enemy means that citizen or the person belongs to the enemy country, alien country, is disqualified in the country. Similarly, an insolvent person. An insolvent, if any court has declared a person as insolvent, then such an insolvent person is incapable of entering into any contract. Similarly, a convict. If a person has convicted, if a person has convicted by any law for any case, for any proceedings done on him, then also becomes incompetent. So the persons, alien enemy, insolvent persons, convict persons are not eligible for any legal contracts. Okay, so these are the three categories, three types of persons who are incompetent. Who are competent? Who are major at the age above 18 years, then the persons who are of sound mind, then the persons who have not been disqualified by any law. Such persons are eligible, and these three persons are not eligible. These three persons are incompetent, I can say. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for viewing this session number 12. Session number 12 on the topic legal capacity of the parties. Thank you very much.